we've explored the idea that the meaning of life isn't something we passively find, but something we must actively create. This is a profoundly liberating yet also daunting realization. It frees us from the disappointment of a fruitless search, but it also places a heavy weight of responsibility upon our shoulders. If we are the artists of our own meaning, where do we even begin? What are the tools? What is the medium? It can feel like being told to build a house without a blueprint or materials. But what if there is a blueprint? What if a guide exists, forged in the crucible of unimaginable suffering that lays out the practical pathways to a meaningful life? Welcome to Existential Psychology Insights. I know that talking about these subjects can be difficult, and I genuinely appreciate you for being here, for being willing to engage with life's biggest questions. If you find this exploration valuable, please consider subscribing. It helps us continue this important work. Today, we are moving from the abstract what to the practical how. We will delve deep into the life-changing framework of psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. In his foundational work of Logotherapy, he didn't just tell us to find meaning, he gave us a map. He identified 3 primary avenues, 3 distinct paths through which any human being, in any circumstance, can discover and create a life of profound purpose. These are the 3 keys that unlock a meaningful existence, and yet they are secrets that most of us are never explicitly taught. Let us begin with the first key, the path of creative values. This is the meaning we find in what we give to the world. This is perhaps the most intuitive source of meaning. It is the purpose we derive from our deeds, from our work, from our creations. This is the path of the artist, the scientist, the craftsman, the entrepreneur, the parent, the teacher. It is about pouring our unique skills, our passion, and our energy into a task that contributes something beyond our own immediate gratification. When you are completely absorbed in your work, when you are in a state of flow, creating something, you transcend yourself. Your personal anxieties and petty concerns fade into the background, replaced by a focus on the task at hand. Frankl believed that this self-transcendence is essential for mental health. Meaning is not found by focusing inward on our own happiness, but by directing ourselves outward, towards a cause to serve or another person to love. This doesn't mean you need to have a glamorous or world-changing job. Meaning can be found in the integrity and excellence you bring to any task. The gardener who lovingly tends their plants, the cleaner who takes pride in creating an orderly and peaceful space, the coder who builds an elegant and useful piece of software, all are walking the creative path. The question this first key asks you is, what are you giving to the world? What unique contribution are you making, no matter how small it may seem? This is the key of action, of purpose, of legacy. Now, let's explore the second key, the path of experiential values. This is the meaning we find in what we receive from the world. If the first key is about doing, this key is about being. It is about finding meaning not in creation, but in appreciation, in encounter, in moments of profound connection to the world and to others. Frankl emphasized that this is not about a hedonistic pursuit of pleasure. It is about the capacity for deep and authentic experience. It is the profound sense of meaning that can wash over you when you stand before a work of art that moves you to your core. It is the feeling of awe and connection when you are alone in the grandeur of nature, watching a sunset paint the sky. It is the deep gratitude you feel for a moment of genuine, uninhibited laughter with a friend. Most importantly for Frankl, this path is exemplified by the experience of love. To love another person, he argued, is to see beyond their physical form and their personality traits and to grasp the very essence of their being. It is to see their potential, to understand their uniqueness, and to actively will for them to achieve their own greatest possibilities. In this act of truly seeing and affirming another, we find one of the deepest meanings life can offer. The question this second key asks you is, what are you allowing yourself to fully receive from the world? Are you open to moments of beauty, of connection, of love? Or are you too busy, too distracted, too cynical to let these profound experiences in? This is the key of presence, of wonder, of connection. And finally, we arrive at the third and perhaps most powerful and profound key, the one that Frankl himself had to rely on in the darkest of times. This is the path of attitudinal values. This is the meaning we can find in the attitude we choose towards unavoidable suffering. Life will inevitably present us with situations we cannot change. We will all face loss, illness, failure, and injustice. There will be times when our ability to create is taken away, and our ability to experience beauty or love is stifled by our circumstances. In these moments, it can feel as though all avenues to meaning have been closed. But Frankl argues that one freedom always remains, the freedom to choose our response. We can face our suffering with bitterness, with self-pity, with despair, or we can choose to face it with dignity, with courage, with integrity, and with a concern for others. The suffering itself is often meaningless, but the way we bear that suffering can be filled with the highest meaning. A person who faces a terminal illness with courage and grace, who uses their remaining time to deepen their relationships and offer love, has transformed a biological tragedy into a spiritual triumph. A community that responds to a natural disaster with compassion and mutual support has created profound meaning out of chaos. It is in these moments that we show what we are truly made of. The attitude we choose becomes our final, unassailable creative act. The question this third key asks you is, when faced with a fate you cannot change, what will your stance be? How will you choose to respond to the unavoidable hardships of your life? This is the key of resilience, of dignity, of ultimate human freedom. These are the three keys: creation, experience, and attitude. What is so empowering about this framework is its universality. There is no one who is so destitute, so imprisoned, or so broken that at least one of these paths is not available to them. I invite you to take a moment and audit your own life through this lens. In the past week, where have you found meaning? Did it come from a project you worked on, a moment of deep connection with a loved one, a beautiful piece of music, or the courageous way you handled a difficult situation? By consciously recognizing these sources, you can begin to intentionally cultivate them. You can structure your life to create more opportunities for creative contribution, for profound experiences, and to practice a resilient and noble attitude. You can stop searching for meaning as if it were a lost object and start building it deliberately, day by day, using the powerful tools you always possessed. This is the path to an unshakable purpose. This is the path to a life that is not just lived, but is truly meaningful.